My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. And to read all my writing, go to counterpropa.com, support the site through the Amazon links and the donate button. Share the petition below that demands the DNC give its computer servers to the FBI. The FBI requested those servers. The DNC denied its request. Of course, we know why. I was just on RT's Crosstalk. Share that segment everywhere. It was amazing. And thank you very much for the kind words discussing the Russian hacking myth, or the fact that Democrats believe Russia hacked the election without ever giving DNC computer servers to anyone in the U.S. government and without having any direct evidence between Trump and Russia. I'm going to read you a New York Times article that epitomizes this. Is almost as good as the Shimmy article, where one of the writers wrote about the debate, and that segment, I did that segment many months back, and it was funny. It was about a writer in the New York Times who put the sound on mute and still thought Hillary won. This is the New York Times, the public relations firm for Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party. The same public relations firm that helped cheat Bernie Sanders. Remember that if you're progressive and you wonder why I write the things I do and I advocate the things that I advocate. Devin Nunes is dangerous. New York Times. No offense to the writer. None whatsoever. Offense to the New York Times, but not the writer. Devin Nunes is dangerous. Representative Devin Nunes obviously fancies himself Jason Bourne. Can you believe this? To sneak into the White House grounds for that rendezvous with an unnamed source last week, he switched cars and ditched aides, vanishing into the night. But Senator Lindsey Graham looks at him and sees a different character. Don't you love how now Lindsey Graham is a hero on the left? What the is this all about? John McCain and Lindsey Graham are heroes to the Democratic Party. And by the way, Joy Behar loves George W. Bush, and Ellen took a picture with Bush. Everyone loves Bush. Can't get enough of Bush. Graham said on the Today Show on Tuesday that Nunes was bumbling his way through something of an Inspector Clouseau investigation. That's because there's no direct evidence of anything. This entire Russian hacking fiasco is a farce. A reference to the fantastically inept protagonist of the... We don't even need that. Everybody knows who Inspector Clouseau is. Of the Pink Panther comedies. I salute... Can you believe this? I salute Graham's movie vocabulary. I quibble with his metaphor. While Clouseau was a benign fool, there's nothing benign about Nunes' foolishness. This is the New York Times. This is the New York Times in 2017. They don't care about Flint, police brutality, banning fracking, breaking up too big to fail banks, ending counterinsurgency wars, single payer. You talk about, people try to call me out. Oh, I'm a Trump apologist. The biggest Trump re-election committee is the Washington Post, New York Times, Daily Beast, all of them. As chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Nunes, a California Republican, is a principal sleuth in the paramount inquiry into whether members of the Trump campaign were in cahoots with Russia. And from all appearances, he either doesn't want to know the answer or has determined it already in President Trump's favor. First of all, the author and the New York Times should know that James Clapper stated there's no direct evidence between Trump and Russia. He stated that 1,000,000 times to Chuck Todd. The NSA is only moderately confident. Somebody should tell the New York Times that the FBI has so much evidence on Trump and Russia that Comey chose to write the Comey letter a week before the election. That should tell you something about the mountain of evidence between Trump and Russia. Of course, none of this talks about Bernie being cheated. And yes, every segment I'm going to bring that up. Democrats are rightly calling on him to recuse himself, just like Attorney General Laura Lynch recused herself when she spoke about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren with Bill Clinton on a tarmac in Phoenix. Democrats are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. They've been joined in their alarm by Graham, a South Carolina Republican, and Senator John McCain, an Arizona Republican. Oh, wow. John McCain and Lindsey Graham are siding with the Democratic Party? That's so weird. How does that happen? Otherwise, he continued, the whole effort in the House of Representatives will lose credibility. It's already lost credibility. But Nunes was defiant when asked by reporters on Capitol Hill on Tuesday whether he would continue. Why would I not? Oh, many reasons. Let's start here. The Intelligence Committee isn't supposed to be a partisan arm of the majority party. It shouldn't be a part. It's not supposed to be a partisan arm of the party not in power as well. But yet it's been a partisan arm of the Democratic Party and President Obama and Hillary Clinton from day one, even before Trump was in the White House. When he was president-elect, he was spied on for no other reason other than he was a threat to Hillary. He did not work with Russian hackers and WikiLeaks to expose the DNC cheating Bernie Sanders. How do I know? Because James Clapper said there's no direct evidence. The NSA is moderately confident. The DHS and FBI report, that 13-page report that an 8th grader wrote, doesn't even mention WikiLeaks. There's no evidence. It's only, Democrats are only trying to create a circus because Hillary Clinton actually did deserve Espionage Act indictments. Hillary Clinton did put Special Access Program intelligence, along with quote-unquote yoga emails, on an unencrypted server. The server was unencrypted for 3 months. So you mean to tell me, New York Times, that the Russians hacked the DNC but not Clinton's server? Because Clinton's server was so tough to crack? Because her genius HROD17 at clintonemail.com, clintonmail.com, no hacker would know that it's the Secretary of State? Even President Obama knew. Cheryl Mills stated that in the WikiLeaks emails. Oh, we have to fix this. The president knows. There's no state.gov. But Nunes is so deep in the tank for Trump that he needs scuba gear. Schiff was not only so up Hillary's, he needs some kind of breathing apparatus. He actually stated throughout the election, his only goal, Adam Schiff's only goal, was to protect Hillary Clinton throughout the election, stating that, oh, she didn't deserve Espionage Act indictments. She actually did commit crimes, but instead of protecting this country from the threats he's supposed to protect against, Adam Schiff spent the entire election on shows stating that, oh, well, you know, Hillary didn't damage national security. The Special Access Program intelligence on her computer server, nobody took that information. Yeah, sure, it was connected to a BlackBerry the NSA said she couldn't use, but that's okay. This goes on. When James Comey, the FBI director, appeared before Nunes committee, confirmed his own agencies, we already knew. The New York Times stated, investigating Donald Trump, FBI sees no clear link to Russia. October 31st, 2016. The New York Times it's actually the New York Times. The New York Times refutes the New York Times, as usual. My source wondered why Paul Ryan hasn't kept a closer watch on Nunes. Your source. I got a source for you. If Trump and his associates have nothing to hide, why all the cloak and dagger? Are you kidding? If Hillary Clinton had nothing to hide, why did she use a private computer server that nobody at the State Department had access to? We're the laughingstock. The intelligence community, Hillary Clinton made a mockery of the intelligence community. People say, well, you're deflecting. No, I'm not. If you didn't care about Clinton making mockery, then don't try to fabricate a link between Trump and Russia that doesn't exist. This is helping Trump. If you watch the entire segment, and you say, oh, HA, I don't like this guy. He's a Trump apologist. He's not a progressive. But I don't care what you think or what anyone thinks of me on the left or right. I'm just going to be an American citizen myself. I want to break up too big to fail banks, single payer, all that stuff. Bernie Sanders, Jill Stein, Nina Turner, Tulsi Gabbard, end perpetual counterinsurgency wars. Not arm our enemies in the Middle East. These are things that conservatives, liberals, everybody wants. Everybody with a brain wants. But if you think this is going to hurt Trump, you're sadly mistaken. This only helps Trump. The same Democratic Party and liberal media that said Hillary would win in a landslide or that she could win Texas are the same people who are telling you that Trump worked with Russian hackers to inform you that DNC was cheating Bernie. You're being played. I've been telling you you're being played for over a year and a half. Nobody would listen. Now you have Trump. I'm telling you Trump's going to go 8 years. If you don't resist the Democratic Party before you resist Trump. Give me your thoughts below. Thank you so much for listening.